Hi guys, welcome to episode 24 of the Twin Tall podcast. I am Ava.
I'm Aveen.
And yay! I always forget how to start these, but basically, thank you guys so much for listening, and we are so glad that you joined us for our 24th episode, which is
That's
3 weeks,
crazy.
3 weeks and 3 days, which is a lot of episodes, but we always have fun recording them, and we thank everybody for listening.
True. And also for our 25th anniversary pod episode, kind of. Like, I feel like it's like the 25th. Oh,
This is 24th.
No, but what I'm saying, listen, for our 25th episode, everybody who's listening, please DM us and send us an idea of what you want to listen to next.
Yes.
Because next episode has to be special.
Because it's the quarterly episode, like 25.
Exactly.
If you guys want to. We just like hearing what you guys want us to talk about, which is very useful.
And we want to talk about the things that you guys want us to talk about.
Exactly. Wow.
Oh my
Fitting
God.
the needs of the
collab.
Anyway, so for this episode,
also, I have a question. What do we call our fan base? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if we're there yet. I quite frankly don't know if we're there yet.
Well,
but
for those of us who don't think that we're going to be made fun of,
what were you
just
thinking?
drop it in the comments.
Twinnies? Listen? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay. For this, what should we call our fan base?
I just thought that was a good question.
Yeah, I'd be curious as well. I'll think of something.
It's what they would like to be called.
Yeah,
because I feel like everybody's fan base, no celebrity came up with their own fan base name.
Yeah, someone did it. I'm actually curious, like how they.
Una came up with hers.
What is it?
# we have a friend. Go listen to her stuff. Una Mia. It's the Miafia.
Oh, so, I actually really like that.
That one slays.
I actually
it's
really
so
like
good.
that.
And it's literally like Miafia, like actually is like fire, especially considering it's part of her name. But are there any celeb fan bases where you're like, what the heck is that? I remember
I just like, you know which one I don't like? Beyonce being the Bayhive. Like, I don't understand that.
Oh my y'all,
I do not.
Beyonce hater.
No. Hot take. I don't hate Beyonce.
No, but you're a hater.
I just don't like her music. Or I don't like it, but I'm not a hater. That's a very strong accusation
That's
you
true.
put on me.
You're not a hater, you're a disliker.
I'm a disliker.
Okay, yeah.
But the Bayhive doesn't add up to me.
No.
It doesn't add up. Like at this point, like our dad, his name's Benny, he can be the Bayhive. Like people can look like Benny Hive. Like I don't get where the bees came from.
God.
Just because their name, I feel like they could be a lot more creative.
Queen bee.
But I also feel like
Ava, have you ever heard
of
Queen
maybe
bee?
that's why.
That's why.
Okay, because they call her the queen.
But that's why.
No, that's
So
that actually makes sense.
Completely makes
but
sense.
Like some fans don't have, like some really popular people don't have like a name. Like
Dua Lipa doesn't have one.
Dua Lipa doesn't have one. Olivia Rodrigo doesn't.
There's a lot.
I was
just thinking.
Okay, yeah. So we'll think of our name. Our fan base. Okay, today's episode, I already introduced it, is the idea of twin telepathy. We're gonna talk about that. Yeah. Ooh. Did you guess I was about to say that?
No.
Basically, it's the idea. It's the idea of what we like. The idea of twin telepathy. If we've ever experienced twin telepathy, and what we think about people assuming that twins have twin telepathy in our experiences. So when someone asks you, like, do you have twin telepathy? I don't think anyone's asked me. Actually, yeah, people have asked me that.
People have asked you this. You came up with this episode.
I know.
Because people
no,
have
not
asked
because
you.
people have asked me. Because it's a very popular thing in twin culture.
Well, yeah, because
I think it is.
And I've been asked multiple
times. Thing, like I think the closest thing to twin telepathy of like the equivalent is asking if you've switched positions with your twin.
That's the dumbest shit ever.
It's so
dumb considering the fact that people ask Ava and I that when we literally, I think we don't have a single feature on either one of our faces that are exactly the same.
Other than our eyes.
No, not even
that. And I'm just talking about the color. I'm just talking about the color.
The only thing we literally do not have.
But see, I feel like for identical twins, it adds up a little better.
Yes,
but because we're fraternal, we never related to that.
People still ask, which is even
it's kind of weird. It's like asking two siblings if they've ever switched positions when they look nothing alike.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, what about twin telepathy?
Can I answer?
Yeah.
I'm answering.
Okay.
My question is yes. My answer is yes. Like, people have asked me multiple times. And the way that I respond to it is I typically say, not in the way that you think. Because I still feel like some things I think the idea of twin telepathy, Ava, what they're trying to say is like, if I like touch you, like, can you feel it? Like, no, like that's never gonna happen. But in terms of
That's
like
not
Ava,
twin telepathy, I
but
think.
listen, but like I feel like that's what they think of. Like, does that make sense? Like, and at this, maybe I have the wrong definition, but the second thing,
That's like twin sensation.
I know, but like I thought that was the same thing. Anyways, can
I don't think so, but okay.
But there's the second component, which I think is the actual real definition of it. The other thing is, I do feel like, Ava, sometimes like in specific situations or even social situations, someone will say something and then I'll instantly think of the same thing, and I know when I look at you that you're thinking of the same thing, so sometimes I let you say the story because I know that you're about to say the exact same thing that I'm gonna say, and I feel like in some ways that's telepathic because I don't think normal siblings have that experience.
No, I know, but I think I agree with that, but every time I think of that, I'm always devil's advocate to where I feel like the reason that's the case is because we experience the same things.
Yeah, but that's
like
not,
that can't be twin telepathy. Like twin telepathy to me means when you think of something. Well, now it's adding up a little bit. But what I'm saying is like the reason that happens is because we do the same thing. But we do also. I'm like trying to disprove my point, and I'm proving yours.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I do get like it's not like, what am I thinking of right now? And it's like instantly dog. Like, does that make sense? Like, even it's not like that. But what I am saying is like, I don't know if normal siblings have that experience. And after talking to mom and dad, and like, because our parents have both of them have sisters, I don't think that they have that with their siblings, or like everybody randomly, like whenever they get really close to someone, they can finish each other's sentences. Like,
right.
It's
that was my point. It's like, but is it twin telepathy or is it the ability to finish each other's sentences?
I don't think finishing each other's sentences is different than completely knowing the original thought that is coming in the other person's head in a situation.
Yeah, like, but do you think significant others can do that? Because I think they can do that.
I don't think mom has ever been able to do that for dad.
Yes, she has. She can be like, Dad, you're gonna say something offensive to me. Or not to me, but to like not offensive, but you're gonna like say a joke like that I can see coming.
But the difference is, does she know the exact joke? Word for word that's going to be said? No, because I legitimately know word for word what you're gonna say, and I know that you know word for word. No,
because this was really funny. I'm gonna say this too. We forgot to do our week recap, but the girl time, the first day of class, Avi and I have this class together. It's the Chinese food. It's like Chinese Asian class, and when we left, we both said at the same time,
in the same.
Thank you. Like as we left,
and what was even weirder was we literally both turned the same way.
I know. And lifted our arm as well. We were like, thank you.
And like in the same tone.
It made us sound like Munchkin, like doubles.
It made us sound like clones. And it was even funnier because when we combine, like normally our voices don't sound the same, but for some reason when we're together, the voice octave is the same. And it's not even that we're trying. It's
just our voices are different, and it was even more when I was younger.
Oh my god, Ava's voice like literally was nasally AF. It was so high pitched. She was like, "Adine, say something
I literally
funny."
hate listening to videos of myself when I was younger because it's like, oh.
My god,
it's so bad.
It's horrible. And my laugh has stayed the exact same. Like even the tone of my laugh has not changed, and I find that hilarious.
Yeah, but it was really funny. Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but the other it's fine. And then the other thing that I was gonna mention was there's this other times like where Av and I have reacted the same way. Like there's this volleyball video that comes to my brain where we both slammed into each other, and then while we fell on the floor and like kind of semi dove and then got up, the way we got up was identical. And I have that video literally saved to my phone. Like it is eerily crazy, and it's not even like we could have even been looking at each other because we were both so focused on what was going on, and it's like that was crazy. And another story, Dad told me one time, Ava, that when we were like babies, okay, like super babies, you were with mom and I was, or it was either like I was with mom or you were with mom, or both of us were separated, okay, and one of us was like in the room upstairs, or I was in the room upstairs, and I like fell or something under mom's like supervision, and Dad was downstairs with you, and you had like a physical reaction to something, and dad was like confused where it came from, and then mom like came and was like, oh my god, like she fell and
Stop,
she got
that's
scared.
so funny.
Like that
Or not
legitimately
funny,
happened.
but like interesting.
I remember,
You
like,
know,
explicitly
that
dad
reminds
telling
me
that.
today in my business law class, there was this case where this girl who was an identical twin sister had her twin like get into a plane accident, and she sued for emotional damages that she felt at the exact instance that their twin
serious?
sister got into the collision,
Okay, then it's
because
real.
it gave her
Like, come
emotional
on.
damage.
Come on. And like there was another in sociology, Ava, we went over like twin studies, and there was like identical twins, and sometimes identical twins separated at birth, okay? And one of them like went to a different country and was like brought up, and the other one went to another country with like the mom or something, and then with the dad got brought up in like a completely different place. And this is like the whole case of like nature versus nurture, because they did cross comparisons of like behaviors and habits, and they saw that they had independently in different environments still came up with like the same weird habits. Like one of the twins like always like would wear like they used to like be fixated on pranking people a specific type of way, or they opened the door a very odd or weird specific
I
type
definitely
of way, and
think
that's been the same.
I definitely
and
think
I feel like
the
that's a little bit
genetics are
too odd.
strong.
Yeah,
like I feel like sometimes like there's some things that simply can't be environmental and that are simply genetically based,
right?
And even like, you know, a lot of people were like, because I can't think what you're thinking instantaneously, but it's similar
Even
to people
with them,
like creating languages together. Like we would do that even though we're not like, it wasn't twin based.
No. And it's like, everyone's an independent person. Like, nobody can just spontaneously know what's in the other person's head. Like, it's just not going to work.
Yeah, but we'll sometimes answer in the exact same way, which honestly, sometimes when we do it the same way, I get annoyed.
I get annoyed too, because we get accused of shit.
Yeah, and I would get annoyed because sometimes we'd be asked, like, we'd ask the same question and she'd make a big deal. Like, our teacher would make a big deal about, like, us. Because one time I asked a question in math and she was like, do you know who else asked that same question? And I was like, who? And she goes, Aveen last period. And it's like, expecting me to like giggle with joy. Like she
was really cutie though.
She was very sweet, but also like it's interesting though that you were the only other person to ask that question in class too.
Again, similar thought process.
Yeah, we just think the same. We also like, we just do things very alike. But I think it's kind of cool, but I think sometimes it gets exemplified in a bad way. Like when we say things that are similar, like it's exemplified if you and I say something, but if like me and my friends say the same thing at the same time, nobody cares. Nobody gives like that's what cares. Annoys me. Yeah. It annoys me when we both say like hello and everyone's like whoa. And I'm like, bro, like that's not a twin thing. No, we just said really hi.
We just literally said hi, bro. We literally just said hi. And then it's also super funny because anyone who knows us knows that Av and I have very different styles of like the ways that we say hi to. Like I'm extremely excited whenever I see one of my friends. Like I will literally like I will be really like just open like oh my gosh, and I'll like go and give them a hug or whatever. And Av is literally just like oh my god, hey, like just very like her personality is more like calm. Yeah. And I'm just like more all over the place. I think
also because this is the other thing that I think we've talked about a lot is the fact
I don't think we've talked about it on the pod. I know you're see telepathy. I know what you're about to say.
I don't think it's about this. I don't know if you know. But what I'm saying is like I think differences are extremely exacerbated. That's what I was about to say. What did you think I was going to say?
Sure.
Is that? What were you about to say?
Part of it.
Okay, yeah. Just because like if I just reacted chill like people
that's what I was going to say.
Wouldn't like think it's that chill. Or because you just go at it with a little more energy than me, people think like you're an energy monster that like is always on the high. Like
right.
And whenever really
you would be compared like if you didn't have me, if they didn't have like me, I guess to compare you to, they'd probably have a different view of how extroverted you were.
Yeah.
Same with me. Like Ava always gets assumed that she's the older sibling because she's just simply calm.
Yeah. And which I think is so unfair.
Dumb. It's completely unfair. Completely unfair. Because I know if like I don't know. I just know if I was naturally more calm than Ava,
but also we must not overlook the joys of not only like twin telepathy, but speaking a language that's not English.
Oh my god.
The way we can communicate in 2 ways.
Oh my god. And it's so easy.
I think speaking another language is so underrated. Like, not just for the professional, like everyone's saying you get paid more for speaking another language. Like, I haven't experienced that in the job market, so I don't know what that means.
I have no experience.
But the value of it, not just through a job perspective, but through a gossiping perspective. Gossiping and just talking. God. Like, Amin and I, you have no idea how many times we would just speak in another language and know exactly what was happening.
And like, I think another really big pro is the fact that nobody knows Farsi. Does that make sense? Like, it's right. Not like if I spoke Spanish, like, it would be bad. If I said, "Oh my god, she sucks," like in Spanish, everybody would know what I would say.
Yeah.
But like, if I say, "Oh my god, look at her hair," in Farsi, ain't no way anyone is understanding.
Have you ever gotten caught by someone before?
Yes.
Oh no! Wait!
Yes,
no.
I have.
No! This is the story. Oh yeah, it's funny. Whenever we were in New York and we were at that Joe's Pizza and we were talking about the pizza, and then some dude like interrupted us and said something in Farsi.
My god! Yeah.
We were eating this pizza outside in New York, and this guy who we were all speaking. I didn't even realize that we were speaking like Farsi that much. But this other guy came over and like said something in Farsi, like "Wow, like what a delicious pizza." Or we were saying how we didn't even take a photo of the pizza. We waited an hour in line for it because we were so hungry. And the guy started laughing and said something in Farsi, like some rando. Yeah. And we were like, oh you speak Farsi? But you know what made me laugh so hard? I was like, Dad, like I wonder how he knew. And he goes, it's not like we're screaming in Farsi for everyone to hear.
Yeah, because this is another thing. In Persian culture,
we're very loud.
I'm very loud. Like sometimes, like I'll simply be talking, and I don't mean to be screaming, but my sound, like my audio, is like on like
10 decibels.
It's like
that's also like when we were on vacation, and that whole table was full of Persian people that were screaming, and everyone was getting mad.
I've never been so embarrassed to be Persian, other than that one instance, because y'all, if you get a typical, like, and when I say typical, I mean like real typical Persian family, especially those who've like, I don't know, have like, I guess if they're all like together, like extended family too, it's like there was that row of like, I guess 30 Persian people.
Bro, 30.
It was literally huge. It was huge. It was literally 30 Persian people
15.
Sitting. Sure, fine. It doesn't matter. 15 people, I guess 20. Okay, 20.
Okay.
20 people, because I know it was more than 15.
They were just screaming at each other's lungs, and it was normal, and then they start laughing, and then the wine starts coming, and the ladies start getting tipsy and screaming louder, and then it gets worse. It gets worse, and nobody can even like talk at their own table without paying attention to them. And it was so bad, you guys. We were outside the restaurant waiting for a table. When they got up and left, the entire restaurant started clapping. Yeah, that's embarrassing.
That is embarrassing. Like, imagine leaving a restaurant and someone's clapping because of how loud
that's so bad. That's so bad.
You have to be loud for that.
I got secondhand embarrassment. Yeah, but
like we don't. Yeah. Like we're not.
I just thought it was funny because Dad was like, "It's not like we're screaming." Shout out Dad, that was funny.
But like we're not like that though. Our family, like Dad is too hyper aware. Dad is too hyper aware and too sensitive to that, because he even gets on to me when I'm loud. Yeah. So it's like there's no way we're not like that. We're no way like that.
Before we finish, do you have any other twin telepathy?
Oh my god.
I just think it's a very interesting topic, and I think there are certain things that people stretch, but if you had to say, is twin telepathy real, yes or no, would you say yes?
I would say yes. Yes. I would say yes in the classical way that people, yes, within specific context, like not in like, again, I know what you're thinking of right this moment, but in certain situations, it does arise.
Yeah, I think so too. And not just because we're similar, like we say the same thing.
Yeah.
Like we might feel the same, but yeah.
Gasp.
Okay, thank you guys so much for listening to episode 24. Love y'all, twin tell all listeners.
No, they have to identify themselves.
Okay. Bye. I love you guys. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Yay.
Bye.
Twins Day.